Hello, welcome to Soul Connections. I'm your host, Polly Jo Labbe. We're here on the YouTube in the Trinity Temple of Sacred Wisdom. How are you guys doing tonight? It's a very interesting cosmic swirling energy out there tonight. A lot of big stuff moving and shifting. So yes, it might be a great night for all of us to ground and center and clear some energy for ourselves, for the collective. And as part of that, like reconnect with our soul, make sure that we're really tapped into our own highest wisdom. And that's the whole point of Soul Connections, that once a week we check in and just make sure that we're getting our own personal guidance system online so that we can make conscious choices in how we live and experience our life. So tonight's deck that we'll do after the meditation for cards is the Grace Eastern Oracle deck by Rizzoli. And this is one of the ones that is, there's a lot of intuitive energy in these cards. There's a lot of swirling, a lot of artwork, a lot of color. And it felt important for us to connect to that mystical energy to get some wisdom, to think of the great mystics like Jesus and Buddha and the wisdom that they can share with us, and seeing what we need to hear this evening, because it's a big night in the United States. So hopefully you guys are here. Yes, Rob. Rob's world revolves around Detroit sports. So he has had a big day already. Um, and so with that, you guys, it's also the birthday of my two oldest boys. They are not twins, but they were born on the same day. So happy birthday out there to Jonathan and Jeffrey. And I'll see you both soon. So here we go. I want to invite all of you guys to just get really comfy. Let's start our meditation. Let's get into that energy and that groove. So you want to make sure to be really in a place where you can just kind of relax and let go. You're going to want your arms and your legs uncrossed. And just really take a few moments to take a couple deep breaths. And in each breath, just allow the chair, the floor, the bed, whatever surface you're connected to, let it support you. Allow your body to just relax its muscles so that it's not working so hard. And we're just going to take a couple of deep breaths, and with each breath, we're going to breathe in that beautiful divine energy, and we're going to release out any stress, worry, tension, anxiety. And again, we're going to breathe in that divine energy, allowing it to fill in all the nooks and crannies. And breathe out any tightness, any ways your energy feels compressed or depleted. And one more time, taking a deep breath in with the divine energy. And just allow yourself to even make noise as you blow the energy out. And we're going to check into our energy system, our chakras that run down the length of our spine. Each chakra is like a mini engine that fuels part of our physical existence, and it also fuels layers and layers of our energy field. And just inviting into our awareness all of those spheres as they are pulsing and spinning. Inviting in awareness to each one. And allowing those energy centers to share their wisdom with us as we begin to really ground and center our energy. And we're going to start with our heart, and we're going to ask our heart to begin by grounding us into the earth. And to do that simply beginning by filling our third chakra, our solar plexus one, right beneath our rib cage. And that one might feel a little turbulent tonight. Just allowing and inviting that chakra to release its anxiety, its worry, its stress. Release any fear, any judgment, any resentment. And also let go of any energy that is not yours that you have been carrying. It's beautiful when we assist others in their healing path. But in this moment, we want to be simply within our own energy field, conscious and aware of that. And now asking our heart to bring balance to our second chakra, the sacral chakra beneath our belly button. Balancing our juicy creativity, our emotions, our desires, and all of the energy we use to create. And now bringing our energy and our awareness to our root chakra, right beneath our tailbone. Inviting in balance in that foundation of who we are and how we experience this current lifetime. Also inviting balance between the right and the left sides of our body, our masculine, our feminine, our physical, our spiritual, so that our energy flows evenly through both. And now asking our heart to really reach deep beneath the earth's surface, to reconnect with our earth star chakra, held deep within the layers of the earth, where we reconnect with the sense of self as a human earth being. And when we allow ourselves to reconnect to that, we are able to fill our energy field with the divine feminine, fill our energy field with love, kindness, and support. Calling on that beautiful honey energy as it moves through any places where we're having discomfort or dis-ease. And just checking back in with our heart as the divine energy begins to flow upward. Checking the balance in all four chambers of our heart. Checking on the balance in the heart of our inner child. Checking in on the balance of our love energy, releasing any hurts, any griefs, any disappointments that may be lingering there, and instantly filling with the divine feminine energy to release those deep woundings that we may hold there with love and gentleness. And then asking our beautiful heart to now ground and connect our throat chakra as we begin to connect to the divine energy above. And in that throat, balancing our unique self expression, balancing the words that have been spoken and will be spoken, balancing our sense of truth and integrity, really balancing our uniqueness. And in that place, we are each a divine spark, each a divine being, but also interconnected as a being here on the earth plane and as a being within the cosmos. And asking our heart to ground and connect our third eye chakra in the center of our forehead, bringing balance to our brain, any thoughts that have been shifting and moving and distracting, bringing balance between our logic and our intuition, making room for us to perceive communication from our spiritual teams like our angels and our guides, our ancestors, opening up our psychic channels to be able to receive that valued information. Helping our brain to receive the information from all of our senses, including our intuition, to make conscious choices and conscious decisions, while also being grounded in the truth and the wisdom of our heart. Now asking our heart to balance our crown chakra at the top of our head, that divine opening and expansion of connection to the divine masculine energy as it flows to us and through us, reaching the divine feminine beneath our feet as she also sends healing energy up through our body and out through our crown. And asking the heart to ground and connect to our soul star chakra above our heads, reconnecting with our highest self, reconnecting to where our soul was first perceived, aligning our energy field with each of our lifetimes so that the healing spreads through all of those layers of who we are. And asking Archangel Metatron to come through us and really ground and deepen our connection to the earth, really helping to ground ourselves into our humanity, ground ourselves into that full heart of unconditional love, while also creating a strong energy for us to stand within so that we are resilient, rooted in our uniqueness and our divine flow. And asking Archangel Sandalphon to come up through our roots, through our tree, and spread out through our branches, allowing our energy to expand outward and upward, making room for more and more divine energy, inspiration, and wisdom to come through and to us, opening our awareness to this so that we can really stand strong in our own divine wisdom. And inviting our spiritual teams to come closer. They're always with us, but come closer so that we can sense them, know them, feel them more deeply. Knowing that we are surrounded and protected in this beautiful bubble of infinite love and infinite light. And as we are gathered here together in community, we are held within the crystal temple of light. And asking the crystal allies to help balance any other energy in our field that needs assistance. Whether that is quartz, amethyst, hematite, whatever we may need, inviting that assistance in. And also inviting in any messages that our spiritual team may have for us to assist us in this leg of our journey of life, to assist us in this upcoming week. And opening the channels of communication so that the messages delivered this evening are for us and for those who listen. May there be words of wisdom to be shared that influence us all. Now we're going to start to bring our awareness and our attention back into our physical body, but inviting our spiritual teams to stay close, to guide and assist us. And just start bringing your awareness back to the surface that is holding you, the muscles that are holding your skeleton, You may notice sounds around you. You may notice light or smells. You might want to begin to wiggle your fingers or your feet, or maybe stretch a little. If there's any places that have a little nook of extra energy, you just might want to stretch and move a little bit to release that. And when you are completely ready, you're welcome to open your eyes and reacclimate with the space that you're in and reconnect with us here in the Soul Connection family. So, welcome back, guys. Nice to have you. Thanks for joining us on this beautiful evening. And, for those of you who've done this before, if you would like to receive a message from your guides, from your spiritual teams, all you have to do is type in yes, please. And I'll pull a card. And our deck this evening, again, is the Eastern Oracle by Rizzoli. And it has some beautiful wisdom for us. And the artwork has many different colors, many different things. So it allows some space and expansion for the intuitive reading to come in even deeper, which is always sweet, especially when there's a lot of energy on the planet swirling at the moment. So I welcome and invite you to feel free to ask. And we pull cards for everyone who asks. We stay until we're done. And so don't fret about asking or worrying that somebody else might need it more. If you would like to hear something, then you're welcome to. So thank you for joining us. Nice. Exactly. Everyone who's asked is in the queue. So, and Rob has it all set for me, and off we go. And it's never too late. All right, Amy. Nice. So your card is be positive in life. Trust intuition to light your way. And there's like this little person down near my finger in the swirl of things. So what I'm sensing for you is that, sometimes we are in situations like at work or within our family where we can be surrounded by some negative Nellies, or we can be one ourselves. Let's be real. And one of the things that shifts energy the quickest is when we can be positive and when we can attract positive things, when we can bring in joy-filled laughter. And so when we're setting intentions and creating the life that we want, all of those need to be done in a positive way. If you say, I don't want something, the universe doesn't know the word no, which includes don't. So you will get what you don't want if you use that. So it's realigning the positive and the positive things that you want to bring in. And it's also having gratitude for the little things that are going the right way. It's really easy for us to focus on what's going wrong. Like our culture and our society is built that way. You hand in a paper at school and, you know, you get correction marks with those red pens, and we're like, oh, I did all these wrong. I only got an 80. But guess what? 80 is still 80% out of 100. So, that's fantastic. But we have these ways that we can make something good even seem like it's something negative. So it's inviting you this week to really be in the positive, share the positive, because you have that ability to like shift that focus for other people and to shift that focus within you when all of a sudden you feel like you got pulled into somebody else's negativity. And those are great words of wisdom for us as we head into the holiday season because it's very easy to get caught up in the drama, and, you know, sort of be a little joy bringer, sprinkle some positive fairy dust around as you're going forward. And yeah, we all could use that. Thank you. All right, Deanna. Good evening, my emoji girl. Thank you. Ah, I love it. All right, so the three selves. Balance your mind. Let me just double check this. Blow away the burnt harvest. So on one side, there's the fire version of yourself, and the other side is sort of like the emotional side of yourself. And so what I'm sensing is that, lots of times, this happens to all of us, we get caught up in our logic brain. Our logic brain likes to create all this stress and anxiety. It gets into the what ifs and the could be's and the shoulds, and it's worried about a reality that isn't right now. And so in this moment, the balance between those swirling thinking thoughts and that part of you that is just like ready to create and ready to expand. And so part of what I'm seeing is like turning those thoughts into ashes, and letting the ashes be part of the composted soil that you plant your new creations in. You might even think about writing down some of the swirling things that have been going on in your head, or things that have been going on around you, the swirling things going around you. Write them down, and take a moment of gratitude for all they've been trying to show you, and that you've got it. Your higher self has got it from here, and you can just burn them and release them and ask the divine to take them away, because they actually use up a lot of our energy that we could be using for something else. So it's bringing that balance, feeling into the place of, are you being too logical on a and have you trusted your intuition today, or are you only using your intuition and not even looking at the step by step logic that might help you get to where you're going? Because we need both. We need both sides of our brain. We need both sides of our body. And when we do, we can walk our spiritual and our physical path at the same time. So that's what you're being invited to do. So yeah, think about how to bring that balance in. And if you need to do a burn ceremony, go for it. Thanks, Deanna. Thanks for being here tonight. Hello, Mary. Nice to have you. All right, what's your card? Nice. Yours is celebrate your uniqueness. You're as exceptional as anyone. And we all knew that. But you know what? Sometimes we need to hear it. So what I'm sensing for this one is, sometimes we get into a place where, we feel like we have to fit in all the time. We have to be, like everyone else. And boy, is that boring. So it's like allowing yourself to just be unique. And I know you do this quite a bit, but celebrate it. Celebrate that you don't have to be the same. Celebrate that you can do things the merry way. And it doesn't make anyone better or lesser. It allows us each to be our own star of our own life. the lead in our own story. And you are this beautiful divine spark, and sometimes we forget that. And as that, it's like there's nobody like you. The divine brought you into creation because the world needed your uniqueness. And so when we can think about that, when we can celebrate that, when we can be in that place of like, hey, I'm me, and there's only one of me, and I was needed here for some reason, that can put us in a very different mindset. And yeah, you're exceptional. You know? If you haven't been told that in a while, well, here it comes again. You're exceptional. Celebrate that, share that, and do it in your way. And do not worry about what anyone else thinks, because their thinking brain can only connect to things it already knows. And nobody knows you, not as well as you know you. So there's going to be times that their brain is just not going to be able to take in all of your exceptionalness. Don't even know if that's a word, but hey, spirit talks the way it wants to. So with that, sweetheart, celebrate yourself this week and do things the Mary way. And if you're not sure, it's like, what would Mary do? All right. Have a great night, sweetheart. We'll see you next time. Oh, thank you. Thank you. We totally appreciate that. Thanks, Deanna. All right, Ellen. Ah, so I haven't seen this card, so this is really cool for me. Glory of the garden. You are the root, the body, and the fruit. There's so much like divine feminine energy in this. It really is standing out for me. I don't know. There's just something about it that brings out that sort of Gaia energy and the Mother Nature kind of energy. What's coming in for me is that, it's very similar in a way to Mary's. Like, we're each a flower in the garden of life, and we're all of the flower. We're the root, we're the body, we're the fruit. And the fruit that comes from us are our creations. Like, what are you creating? How are you creating? And our body can be our physical body, but it also can be all the layers of our body, our emotions, our thoughts, our spirit, because our whole body is combined. And sometimes it's difficult to feel that strong rooted connection. And rooted doesn't have to be stuck in one place. Just for anybody who's not clear on that, rooted means that you're centered in your being. Rooted is when you're sure of yourself, when you are comfortable within your own skin. And so we have this experience as humans that um, we have such a disconnect sometimes with the divine energy that we forget that we're divine. Like, we're a divine energy flow within this like physical body, and that no matter what we do or where we go, we're always connected to that unconditional love of the divine. And we're meant to be in motion. We're meant to be in creation. We're meant to be growing in our garden. We're not meant to be shriveling. Doesn't matter our age. We're meant to grow until we're done. We're meant to expand until we're done. People talk about, learning something new every day. And totally embracing that, but also that energy of like allowing yourself to become even more of Ellen. Like so many of us know how to shrink and to sort of like cover ourselves and hide. Um, but how many of us are brave enough to like show our whole uniqueness? You know, Mary showing all of her uniqueness, Ellen being her beautiful flower. So being in that place, sweetheart, where you let yourself bloom. I feel like maybe you've been in hibernation a little bit, um, and we've been missing the Ellen flower in the garden. Um, so pull out that creativity, share some of those creations. But one of the biggest creations that you're connected to is you. So, how can you share you in all your beauty? Because we're ready, and so are you. All right, sweetheart. Have a great night and hope to see you next time. Hello, Barbara. Nice to have you here. So, this one is chill out. Don't swim against the currents. Boy, don't we all do that sometimes? And she is basically, I'm sure you can't see her very well, but she is like under the waterfall, right up here, and just sort of allowing that cold water to go over her. Um, so, what I'm getting for you around this is we can get really wrapped up in, all the things that are going on. We are heading into the holidays. We do have this monumental evening tonight, and it's like there's a lot of stuff going on. And when we get a little bit anxious or a little overwhelmed, we try to control things. And I'm totally on board with that. That's been an old standby for me in the past, and still sometimes in the future. um, but what happens is when we're trying to control it, we're not allowing the energy to flow, and we're not allowing ourselves room to relax into the water and the wave and the way it flows. So, um, you know, the visual that I get quite often is that somebody with a surfboard, and if you flip it on its side and you push it against the water, it's like this huge struggle. But if you line it up with the way the water already flows, it just kind of goes gently. And it's calm enough that you can stand on it or you can swim on it. But when you're trying to push it, that's not even possible. And it takes so much energy to go against the grain or go against the current. And when life's happening, sometimes we just have to ride the wave, and just allow ourselves to lean in. Like you can't fight the tsunami, but it's if you have that surfboard, you can ride it out and see where you end up, see where you land. And um, there is a factor of this that actually has to do with cold. It does say chill out, but I'm also seeing like not only this really cold water, but also that sense of like when we get riled up, we get overheated, or when we work too hard or we exercise really hard, right? We get overheated. So there's a part that of our body that needs to be brought back into balance, and that's sort of being chill. And so I'm seeing like not only the energy of going with the flow, but also the energy of like make sure you're keeping your body temperature down, if try not to get too overheated, but also drink a lot of water, use ice as needed. If you're having inflammation, um, which could be the case, make sure you're doing icing or you're doing cold, um, like shower or a bath to just help for it doesn't have to be very long, but it's just enough to bring the body, sort of shock the body into releasing the inflammation. Um, because ice is really good for swelling of any kind, even if it's like an emotional swelling, like putting ice on the back of your neck or on your wrists, running your wrists under really cold water. Um, those are all things that will help get your body temperature back into sync, so that it doesn't have to be so hot. um, so I'm not sure how that connects, but somehow it makes sense, I'm sure. So thanks, Barbara, for being here this evening, and we hope to see you next time. Hi, Lynn's visiting us from California. All right. Yours is time to rekindle. Take the wheel in your hand. Nice. So what I'm seeing around this one is, first of all, it's like you're the driver in your own life, right? So it's time for you to be the one driving, so many times we've got to be the backseat driver, and we've got a lot of other people drive and tell us where to go. But you're in this shifting energy right now of like, hey, it's your life and you get to control it. It's your chance to go, this is what I want, this is not what I want. But also it's the time where to rekindle feels like, okay, what excited me in the past that I haven't been doing? And how do I return that back into my life or create a new version of that? And there are a few things that I feel that could be sparked that have been sort of put off to the side, or maybe you thought it wasn't quite time for it or something. But you've got all this excess energy. We're in this beautiful heart chakra energy right now, which maybe not everybody feels, but some of you empaths out there know that we crossed over to the heart energy. Thank goodness. Yesterday. So hopefully that influences a number of things. But yeah, it's time to follow your heart and let your personal flame um, sort of fire the direction that you're going to go. Um, and also, everybody's waiting for it. So get going on that. We need that. Thanks, dear. I'm glad you were here. Have a great rest of your night. You are welcome, Barbara. Thanks for being here. Hi, Lady J. All right. So your card is get into the energy vortex and trust your higher consciousness. There is a lot of red and pink and white in this card. A little bit of purple too. So an energy vortex is basically when we're right in the present moment and we're not worried about what's going to happen tomorrow or later or what happened in our past. When we're just in the present moment, there's this sweet spot, and we've all had it where it's like stuff just happens quickly, or the ideas flow quickly, or we just hit that really deep inner knowing. And so what's being invited for you is to really ground your heart chakra and your crown chakra um, into the earth, into the especially using your root chakra. So it's like what I'm seeing is the root chakra, the heart at the bottom, the heart chakra, and then the crown. So those three, and imagining the line of connection between the three of them and how it goes through the earth and above to the divine. And when you get centered in that way, it's like you connect your higher self to you to help for your wisdom. Your inner child feels safe because the divine energy is flowing through and we're not spinning in our thoughts. And just trusting that what's coming through for you is exactly what you need. I'm not sure if you do automatic writing, but it's a great way to invite your higher consciousness to come in and communicate with you clearly. And it can be as simple as writing down, what do I need to know today? Or what wisdom do I need to know now? Um, and just whatever comes into mind, writing it down without censor. And if you practice that, it really helps. You'll notice, number one, that the handwriting isn't the same. And you'll also start to notice that the phrasing isn't the way you would say things. Um, and that's how you know when that's coming in. And so it's even larger than trusting your intuition. Like trusting your intuition is the first step. Trusting your higher consciousness is getting in a message that might feel a little uncomfortable, but understanding that's exactly where your soul's meant to go and where it's meant to be in this moment, and having the trust to know that it's the right thing and just going for it. So yeah, get into that sweet spot and let the divine guidance come in because whew, it's pretty hot. And it's ready. They're really ready to connect with you. So fantastic. Thank you for joining us. It's nice to have you here. I hope you'll join us again next Tuesday when we're here every Tuesday at 7 Eastern for words and wisdom and cards. And so feel free to come back and join us. Thank you, dear. Hi, Stacy. Love it. Recreate yourself. Feel the thrill of the ride. We often get to these pivot points in our lives where, we've been doing things a certain way. Um, and and it can even be good. It can even be a good way. But we can also get kind of bored. I've been doing it this way for a long time and I need to switch it up somehow. It can be as simple as rearranging the furniture in your living room and putting some new colors in, or changing up some of your wardrobe and just allowing some different things that express you to come out. So think about well, not really think, bring in bring in the divine connection. Um, to see what parts of you, the unique Stacy, need to be expressed. Um, and I know this was said earlier in its own way for someone else, but it's like you have your own unique style, you have your own unique view on how things are, and so there's like this another part of you, like this another flower within you that wants to bloom, and it's like that can be so exciting when we embrace that and we develop it and we yeah, we allow ourselves to go outside of the comfort zone. Like when we're in the comfort zone of, doing it the same way over and over, that can feel safe so that we can have that energy. But sometimes, like I said, it gets a little bit boring. And so we need to switch it up. We need to sort of dive into like, okay, who am I today? Who's Stacy today? Who's Stacy this year? Or who's Stacy for 2025? And what's What am I willing to keep the same, and what's yearning for a little bit of change and adventure and spontaneity. Um, so yeah, give yourself that opportunity to kind of maybe push outside of your zone, or maybe even return to some things that you used to love doing that you gave up because it wasn't practical. Think that might be one. So there you go, my dear. I hope that's helpful, and thanks for being here. Hi, Kevin. Nice to have you. This is a good one for all of us. Let faith lift you up. Accept the darkness to find the light. And so, one of the things that happens is that, we think of like shadow energy or darkness as bad. But if we think of the darkness holds parts of ourselves that we were too afraid to bring out into the light, or that other people didn't like when we were younger, or they were afraid of it, so we hid it. Um, so it's like not everything in the darkness is bad. Um, in the darkness can be our crazy creative self. In the darkness could be um, an athlete or a singer, or anything. But somebody else might have felt uncomfortable in it. There's times when we're told in our lives that we're too much. And when we have that, we take a portion that we think equals much and we put it in the darkness. I'm allowed to be this much of myself, but not my whole self. And so there are pieces of you that have been pushed down, pushed aside, and really you're ready to reintegrate them into this light version of yourself. And you get to choose what you bring back, and you get to choose whether for you it's too much. Because it's time to embrace your muchness. That's a phrase that came up in a class I was teaching a number of years ago, with a woman who has a very big aura, very big field, and she was told her entire life that she was too much. And so, it was like, embrace your muchness, like bring it out. We all want to see it, because you can sense when somebody's holding back, when they're holding back because they're worried or concerned about what other people will think. So trust in the divine that you were created exactly the way you're meant to be. And let that divine energy help you lift up and bring out parts of yourself that you've kept hidden for a little bit, because they're ready to shine. And if you need some help, you know where to find me. I'd love to help. All right, dear. Have a great week. Messages from the angels, and it has been mixed and confusing. Ask them for clarity, and this has helped. Thank you so much. Yes, Joe and I are trying to meet. Jealousy, he's been trying to protect me from. Perfect. Yeah, sometimes we have people in our lives that are kind of, they have the night energy, right? And so they want to protect us, and but sometimes we're not the damsel. Sometimes we are able to handle our own things. So and yes, messages from the angels can sometimes be confusing because our ego can get in there. So thank you for joining us, and I hope you got a little more clarity. All right, Andrew, nice to have you. Let's see. All right. Release the creative genius. Unload the weight and fly to the sky. Mm, beautiful. Um, you're a very creative person. You channel it really well into music and into your cooking. And there are a few other people that do that here in this group. Um, and so sometimes we have things that weigh on us, our responsibilities, our family, our job, different things can sort of weigh us down. And when we have that weighted feeling, it's really hard to get our creative juices flowing. And so what I'm seeing is, to give some more time to your creativity. There's a number of you who are here listening, who this is for you too. Um, and the creativity, when we want to change the world that we're living in, the best thing we can do is really start embracing our creativity, because it sparks creativity in others, and all of that is the the juice for change. And so what I'm seeing for you is like doing a quick meditation to like ground yourself and center yourself, and then allow yourself to be creative in whatever way you're feeling. Sometimes it might be the cooking, sometimes it might be music, sometimes it might be in art, it might be in writing, um, it could be gardening, it could be a whole bunch of things. And when we release the responsibilities and the weights that we carry, then the creation energy kind of like bursts forth from our sacral chakra up through our throat, and it just comes right out, because burdens are carried across the shoulders. So for the creativity to get through the burdens, it's kind of got to burst through. So it's why I'm seeing you like releasing it off your shoulders. Like it's almost like having a jacket that's too heavy and taking it off and shaking it out so that you can move around more freely. So I'm not quite sure what you're meant to be creating, but I know you do. If you don't already, it'll come to you in the next couple of days, but it's ready. Let that creativity burst through, because boy, you've been holding on to it for a little while. It's time for it to come out. All right, Andrew, have a great rest of your week. You're welcome, Kevin. So glad to have you here. Oh, you're welcome, Stacy. Hope that works for you. Love all my hearts there. All right, Rob, let's see. See what we got here. So your card is Gifts of Life. I'm just going to make sure I read that right. Enjoy the scenery. Roads have turns. Interesting, because the way I saw the word was sorcery. So there must be something a little magical in here too. Sometimes when we're on our spiritual journey, we're not on the super highway to get there the fastest, it's about the journey. And so sometimes we're taking the back road and we're enjoying the scenery that's around us. And when we start to enjoy what's around us, we get more and more centered in the present moment. Our life has twists and turns. Different things come up that we like, and different things come up that we don't like. And I know that in your schedule has been really not conducive. I'm going to put it that way, I guess. So what I'm seeing is like take the moments of time to really enjoy the gifts that are coming to you from the change. Um, you're about to get to your destination. Um, and it's been a little twisty and a little turny to get there, but it's like what I'm seeing is like it's getting brighter and brighter. So you know you're getting there. And invite in, I'm seeing Archangel Nathaniel. And he likes to sort of pave the way for us. So seeing like smoother road ahead, that he will pave the way for you to journey. So even if you're on a little bit of a back road for a little bit longer, at least it'll be smooth. And the scenery will be great, and you'll get to see some wonderful things. Um, and all of that can be very conducive to releasing stress as well. So there's some piece of stress release that's coming as part of what's coming up. And yeah, uh, don't take your gifts for granted. This is the last thing that just wanted to pop in. Like, you have some amazing gifts. Don't put them aside. Embrace them. They're part of who you are. And yeah, take your time. Life's a journey. All right, you guys, thank you for being with us this night. We're excited that you were here for us. Hopefully, you already have liked and subscribed to our channel here. The links are somewhere. Rob will tell you. Um, but like our YouTube channel, Trinity Temple of Sacred Wisdom, like us on Facebook. You'll see some other events that are coming up. And, you know, just embrace the change that's around us, and that understand that we're all supposed to shine our unique light the way that we're meant to. And so get out there and do that. And if ever you need assistance, feel free to message or reach out, because that's what we're here for. All right. And with that, you guys, bye for now.